All right, good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to New Moon Manifesting. We are in the last new moon of 2019, and we'll be talking about Capricorn tonight. Let me hit share here so that we can get our presentation up, and you can see some of the cool stuff that's coming in. I'm super excited about this new moon, and this will be especially influential if you have your sun sign is in Capricorn, your moon, or your ascendant, but it affects all of us. Astrology is like a big pizza that's sliced into 12 slices, and the pepperoni is the various planets that are influencing us. So they always have an influence on us, even if it's not a significant part of our chart. We still are affected by their particular influences and what's taking place. Now, I'm calling this new moon and this year a leap of faith. There is so much that's taking place right now with the Capricorn new moon and with astrology that I'm super excited, and let's move forward and share what that information is. So Capricorn is an earth sign. It is the last of the earth signs in the astrology charts, in the astrology wheel. It's easy for me to say, blah, blah, blah. This new moon is actually taking place on December 26th at 12:13. I don't know, I have 12:13.5, an extra letter in there, but it's at 12:13 a.m. So if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be December 25th at 9:13 p.m. So again, this is a leap of faith. We are stepping out of this actually 19-year cycle that we've been going through since the year 2000. We've had some similar energies that are going to be transpiring in this new year. And what that means is we may be seeing glimpses of places where we have mastered something, a part of our life. We've learned specific lessons, and we are integrating what we've learned so that we can take ourselves, our lives to the next level. So I'm very excited about this because I was looking at my life in the year 2000 and what was taking place, who was in my life, what was moving forward, and the dreams and goals that I had back then. I actually pulled out my dream board from that time frame and looked at some of them, which have not come true yet, and yet I know they still will. So it's kind of interesting to see that things that that I dreamed about 20 years ago basically are starting to come to fruition now. So don't give up. I know before we jumped on the call, there were some people that, said, oh, I'm glad you're optimistic about this new one, new year, new decade, right? So we've got all these new stuff that's taking place. So because this is also a solar eclipse, which means that the sun and moon are next to the south node of the moon. So the south node relates to our karmic lessons, our past life, things that we are healing and growing from. So that's why I call this the opportunity of integrating what you've learned and mastered and taking your life lessons to the next level. So kind of look at what you've been learning, what new ideas that you have moving forward, and how you can really capitalize on those. So there's a sense of release that's taking place with this Capricorn new moon and through the rest of this year. And it is a significant fresh start. So really hone in on what it is you want to create. What do you really value? And I'll be talking more about that with the Abundance and Prosperity Manifesting course that I'm offering in January. There's a 40-page workbook that goes with this course. We have 2 live classes with it. One's a live class and one is a panel where people get to share their act as if, where they're talking as if they've achieved their goals. So my personal word for the next year, one of them is love. So everything I'm doing, I'm projecting from love. Anytime that I'm out of that sphere of love, I want to do whatever I can to pull myself back. So if that means I need to forgive somebody in the moment, I'm going to do it because I want to keep myself in that higher frequency. So I'm attracting to me all the good stuff that I want. And that's why I love teaching people about manifesting, because this is an emotional process. It is an emotional journey. And the more that we can manage those emotions, the easier it is for us to attract the good stuff that we want to us. So there's also a big shift that's taking place as Mercury is moving out of Sag over the galactic center, which holds cosmic information. and moving into Capricorn shortly as well. So there could be big vision, big plans, big news, big shifts. Those types of things are going to be affected by Mercury. Capricorn relates to your work, what you've earned, what you've learned, your titles, your status, your mastery, those types of things. So again, this is a good time of reflection and really tuning into what you have achieved over the past 10 to 20 years and how you're integrating those lessons to move to the next level. Now, I know it's not always easy to move to the next level because we as human beings seek what is normal and natural and comfortable, even if it's not what we want, right? Like we want to go to what is familiar. And so I encourage you to really step out of the box. Every time something feels unfamiliar or if it feels scary, then you're actually moving towards what you're supposed to be doing. I have some really big goals in the new year, and I was talking with my daughter yesterday as we were driving, and I just said, you know, it would be easy for me to be comfortable and just do what I'm doing, but there's some big things that I want to do, and I'm scared to even do it. And so she starts pushing me. When are you going to apply for? It's actually a speaking gig, and when are you going to be doing this? When's your video going to shoot? And so she's actually pushing me to take these next steps and reminding me that it is important for us to step outside of our comfort zone and really embrace uncertainty, right? Because that fear of the uncertainty is the biggest challenge. And yet everything we want is outside of our comfort zone. So the more you can embrace that, it's easier to actually take those steps, even if you have to think of a time when you were uncomfortable and you took those leaps of faith and you were able to step outside of your comfort zone. Whether it turned out great or it turned out as a disaster, it doesn't really matter, because what matters in the bigger scheme of things is that you tried, that there was something that you learned, that you pushed some envelope in some direction. And in doing that, you broke through some sort of barrier. So just keep reminding yourself that everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. And to manifest it, it's going to be uncomfortable as you push yourself out of that zone. So with this Capricorn new moon, we have a lot of planetary influences. Obviously, the sun and moon are next to each other at 4 degrees in Capricorn. And we also have Jupiter sitting right next to them at 5 degrees. Now, Jupiter moved into Capricorn in early December. It's going to be there for about a year. This is the planet of luck and expansion. So knowing where this falls in your chart will help you in determining what's expanding, what's resolving in your life, what, where are you lucky in this area. When Jupiter was in this placement, I took 3 international trips and a trip to Hawaii and to the East Coast. So it was a crazy amount of travel that took place, even though it was in my 5th house. But it was just a really fun year. So knowing where that took place 12 years ago will help you in maybe seeing some of the patterns that were taking place in your life in that point. We also have Saturn and Pluto. These are both going to be at 20 degrees in a couple of weeks. So from the 7th of January till the 22nd of January, we're going to have major planetary influences with Saturn and Pluto. And this is affecting everyone on the globe. So these are restructuring your life. This is breaking through limitations. This is creating a new foundation. Any place where these 2 planets are, because they're outer planets, they're going to create lasting change. So again, where are there endings taking place in your life? And where are you ready for new beginnings? Because as these start to move apart after the 22nd of January, then things are going to gradually shift, because obviously they don't move very quickly. So this is an end of a chapter. This is about, again, mastery and taking your level of mastery and your life lessons to the next level. This is about clarity, about what you're completing. So you may have some idea of what you're completing, and over the next couple of weeks to a month, you're going to have more understanding and more in-depth understanding of what that means for you. Again, a strong new beginning. So we have not only new moon, but it's amplified by the solar eclipse. So eclipses are like wild cards. They really open us up to new possibilities, things that maybe we haven't thought about, and creating that new structure. Let's move on to our next one. So I pulled a chart. This person, their birthday is actually in Capricorn. It's kind of fun to do that. So you can see their sun sign is here and it's at 20 degrees. So their sun sign is being influenced significantly by Saturn and Pluto, who are both sitting here. These are the transitory planets that are transiting through. And these are the birth planets, where the signs and or where the planets were when this person was born. So with the sun, they are how they express themselves, because the sun is the outward expression of ourselves, is being heavily influenced by Pluto and Saturn. I'm combining the two. It's now Platurn. So these two planets are really shaking this person's world up. It's helping them in seeing who they are, helping them be authentic with who they are, expressing themselves in that capacity, really tuning into the dynamics of what they've mastered and honing those skills and those lessons to take their life to the next level. So also in Capricorn, this is taking place in their second house. So second house relates to how they value themselves, money, the beauty around them, those types of things. And we'll talk about the houses in just a minute. So over here at 4 degrees, we have the sun, moon, and the sun, moon, and Jupiter that are all influencing her second house, but also it's affecting Venus as well. Now, as I mentioned, we have Venus or Mercury over here that is moving over the galactic center shortly. So again, big news about what you really value, what you love, maybe new cosmic information. And this could be a time of paying attention to your dreams and really tuning into kind of the subtle energies, the things behind the scenes, not necessarily in your daytime, but the daydreaming and right before you go to sleep and the meditation and those types of things, where you are in that transcendental state and able to tune into the subtle energies from the cosmic influences. Now we also have, I wanted to point out that this orange line I've got going here is called a trine. And there is a trine that's taking place for all of us with the sun and moon and Jupiter, and these are all trining Uranus. So this is a time of thinking outside of the box. This is about liberation. This is about sudden developments. Now, Capricorn relates to our careers, what we've mastered and where our level of mastery is. So there could be changes taking place in your career, or you could suddenly change careers. So just be aware that this is a time of breaking out of the old and pushing you towards something that's new. We've also got Mars over here that's going to be pushing forward into Capricorn, and this is going to help you in breaking out of the old patterns. Again, that 10 to 20 year cycle that I was mentioning before, this is a new year, a new decade, and a new you. So Team Capricorn is really lining up to support you in whatever your desires and dreams are. And Capricorn is that manifesting in physical form. It's taking the slow and steady steps to actually get you to the top of the mountain. So it's constant progress. It's recognizing that it's never a straight line, that you're going to be moving up and down in various directions. And it's important for you to realize that so that you can continue to move forward and not feel out of sync, right? Because we do have doubts about moving forward or think that things are going to work out the way they did in the past. And the answer is no, they're not, because you have grown and evolved, then your results are going to be different. So the more you can stay focused on the positive elements of your life, the easier it is going to be for you to manifest. This is going to be a time to expect the unexpected and the unseen, and realize that you are being supported from so many different levels. So the more you trust your gut instincts and your heart's desires, the easier it will be for you to actually manifest. As I mentioned before, this is a repeat energy of 2000. We also had this in 2010. So again, 2000, 2010, 11, and 18, you may start seeing some familiar patterns or themes that are popping up in these particular years. Just kind of take note of what that means, where you're at today, and where you want to project yourself into the future. This is a time of completing lessons learned and earned, right? Because a lot of the lessons, we earn our status. We really apply what we know, and we become better and better and more efficient and effective in our lives as a result of the lessons that we've learned. So even though sometimes it feels like we move towards something and we don't complete it, or there's failure in some capacity, there are lessons that we're learning, and as a result, we're earning our particular status in this life. Anything else I wanted to mention about this? I don't think so. All right, so Capricorn in the houses. You can look at this chart. I've got all of the houses in here. So the first thing you want to do is you pull your astrology chart, see where Capricorn is sitting for you, and then you want to look at this chart, or you can just Google online, Capricorn in 6th house. I know somebody mentioned that before we got on. So the 6th house relates to creating healthy habits. It's about routines. It's about looking at your health, making sure you're doing everything you can to stay healthy. Maybe you switch things up and create a new diet or new exercise routine. Anything that is routine and regimented, setting the stage every single day, all those little steps that create the progress that you want toward your ultimate goals. This new moon reminds you to stand in your power. Capricorn is an empowering sign. So again, as an earth sign, this is about manifesting in physical form. I know over the past year, I've talked significantly about a lot of the signs and how they relate to reclaiming your power. So now that we have reclaimed our power, whether you're totally there or not, it doesn't matter. But now that you are in that position where you're reclaiming your power or have reclaimed it, the next step is to be projecting from that state of love, because we don't want to be projecting our power from a state of fear. Otherwise, we're going to attract more opportunities to feel fearful. So make sure that you're standing in power. Make sure you're claiming what you want. Your turn in any places where you've turned over your power, that you're taking that back, recognizing that you're moving in new directions, recognizing your strengths, and those elements will really help you and support you in moving forward. So for me, this is taking place actually in my 4th house, and then it's going to be moving into my 5th house, the sun and moon. So this is about 4th house relates to rearranging my home. It could be a possible move, letting go of family patterns and dynamics so that I'm fully in my power and embracing my own emotional security, right? So as you're looking at this, it's not looking outside of you for someone else to satisfy an element of you. It's about you claiming that within yourself. So we will open the lines up in a minute. We can talk about houses specifically. Essential oils. I love using essential oils to help balance the chemistry, because we are emotional beings, and chemistry and biology is the foundation of our entire system. It's important to find the tools that actually help us stay balanced. I know this month I've been extremely stressed. The client that I've been doing some consulting work for, we've been going through an audit with the IRS, and it's been overwhelmingly stressful. So my essential oils have been my go-to just to keep my sanity through this process. Now with the Capricorn New Moon, 2 of my favorites, frankincense and myrrh. These support both the masculine and feminine side. Frankincense, the masculine, helping you see your truth, understand yourself, and release the lies and deceptions that we tell ourselves so that we can more fully stand in our own personal truth. And then myrrh, to me, helps, it's that earthy, grounding, anchored, feeling safe in the world and emotional security. It's like Mother Earth wrapping her arms around you and helping you feel nourished and supported. So these 2 oils, I love using frankincense on the crown of my head and the back of my neck. And then I love using myrrh on the bottom of my feet. So I'm feeling anchored and grounded while I'm connected to my higher self. Since Capricorn is a very spiritual earth energy. Any essential oils that help you open up the crown chakra and third eye are going to be very supportive at this time. Some of my favorites are sandalwood, clary sage, and Roman chamomile, because all of these help you in finding your divine purpose and connecting with your higher self and tuning into your heart's desires and finding clarity in what matters most to you so that you can attract the opportunities that actually help you achieve that. Some of my favorite blends are doTERRA's Align Blend. This has been my oil of the year for the past 2 years. This helps you stay aligned with your higher purpose. What my mantra is in using this oil is I'm aligned with everyone and everything that serves my higher purpose. Another one of my favorite blends is doTERRA's Balance Blend. This contains 4 tree oils in it. Tree oils are very grounding and stabilizing. Often when we are trying to manifest, we're in our heads and we're over processing information, and we need to really get out of that space and get into a heart-centered space. And I find that the tree oils, such as frankincense, sandalwood, cedarwood, fir oils such as Siberian fir and Douglas fir, these help you feel more grounded and anchored so that you can pull your energy into your heart and actually manifest from that place versus, am I doing this right? Should I be meditating more? Am I doing everything I need to be doing? Or even letting go of control, right? Like if we can't let go of control and allow our higher self to support us in this process, it's virtually impossible to manifest our heart's desires. So these are some of my oils that I picked for the Capricorn New Moon. If you have other oils that you're attracted to, by all means use them. And if you are interested in getting more information or want to have a one-on-one session where we talk about what oils would support you and what you're going through and what you're wanting to manifest, let's schedule a 30-minute consult so that we can talk about oils to support you. So, new year, new decade, we're right around the corner. 8 days away from, I guess 10 days away from 2020. 2020 is a master number. So in numerology, a 22 is a master builder. It helps you to be more open and sensitive to the physical surroundings, helps you be in tune with what's taking place with you so that you can integrate what you're sensing and bring it into physical form, because that's ultimately where we manifest. This is a master of details. When you really tune into this energy, you can build anything. If you have any 11s in your numerology chart, this helps you materialize and manifest that 11 energy. This is about creating concrete foundation. So if the 2 and 2 are added together, that's a 4, which the 4 corners of a building is going to create a strong foundation for the future. So again, I'm seeing this new year as a possibility of manifesting everything that you desire. And to help you, I put together a prosperity and abundance course. So we will have 2 different live events. One's going to be a prosperity and abundance masterclass. So that'll be held in January. There's also about a 40-page, I know it's a lot, but I wanted to give you a ton of tools because everyone responds differently or needs different tools. And so I provided a bunch of different tools in this course, not only in the workbook, but there are a bunch of short accompanying videos to help you in manifesting more, to help you in keeping your vibe in that high place. Because as I mentioned, my goal is to be in this space of love, unconditional love all the time. I'm going to manifest some amazing miracles this year. I'm super excited about it. And I want to bring you all along for the ride. What I find is when I'm in a good place, I'm holding a high vibe, that if I frequent a business, that they become more successful. If my massage therapist, I can't even get into him on short notice if I have to cancel an appointment. I have to book something 4 to 6 weeks out. Before I started working with him, he always had free time. So when people work with me, they automatically start creating more abundance and manifesting more of what they want. Another element of this course is going to be in February. We're going to hold a panel where the participants in the course get to talk about a goal that they have achieved, right? They're acting as if they've actually achieved this goal. And they're going to talk to me, and it'll be sort of in a dialogue or a panel type discussion where we'll talk about some of the fears that they had to overcome and some of the challenges that they faced. And it's an amazing tool to help you in manifesting more. And the cost of this course is $88. So you're going to get 2 live events as well as a 40-page book and access to a bunch of videos. So it is very worthwhile and affordable. If you haven't got yourself a Christmas gift, or maybe this is a New Year's gift for you, this would be the one to do, right? This is going to be a great one. And it's my birthday month, so you have to join us. I'm going to manifest so many amazing things this year. It's an 11-year for me, so I'm super excited about it. You can go to goodvibeenergy.com to join it, or in the New Moon Manifesting follow-up email, there'll be a link where you can read more about it and learn how to actually register. Oh, here we talk about it. So we have a Manifesting Masterclass on January 20th, the Prosperity Planner, access to mindfulness videos, and a Claim Your Power panel on February 2nd. So I tried to pull in as many master numbers as I could here. I pulled in February 2nd of 2020. That's going to be an 8. And an 8 in numerology is incredibly abundant. I realize it's a Sunday night, but it's going to be an amazing night of manifesting and clearing away the clutter and open yourself up to the higher vibe and manifest the abundance and prosperity that is literally sitting out there waiting for you. So if you've tried to manifest in the past and it hasn't really worked, I get it. We've gone through this 10 to 20 year cycle of a lot of healing, integrating lessons. In fact, I got an email from one of the participants in this that said that she's been doing some amazing things that she hasn't been able to do in 10 years. And I've heard from a couple other people that the same thing has happened. And it's because the energy is shifting. We're finally out of that place of growth and personal lesson learning and getting into the higher vibe of mastery. So join us for this program. It's going to be incredible. And let's stop this and open up the lines. I want to actually take this back to one more, the houses. And unmute. If you do have background noise, you can mute yourself. All right, questions about this new moon? Anything that came up that you want resolved?
Come
on, I can't have answered all of your questions.
I need a personal reading. Too long.
New year, new you with the transits. I know there's a lot going on. Yeah, definitely contact me if you want to do a reading. Anyone else have houses that they have questions about? You know what house this is falling in for you?
No.
Hi, Jana. It's Kathleen.
Hi there.
So I was just curious with with it being the winter solstice and everything, is that something that's affecting, like, I guess, people's moods?
Oh, absolutely. Because anytime we have the solstices, the veil is very thin and we're attuned to, so many other energies that most people, can create a lot of confusion and just fears in general. So just being mindful of that can help you in, navigating what's taking place.
Okay.
Anything specific coming up?
I just, for some reason this morning I woke up and it was like, I just got really sad. It was the oddest feeling because I had a really good week. But also my contract with my job and everything, it's scheduled to end January 20th. So I'm kind of like that whole take a leap thing is like, okay, yeah, well, obviously,
right?
so Yeah, and but it's very different. Typically I'm such a, well, you know me, I want like my planner, I want specific dates and
Everything
like
definitive,
that's
right?
right. And but lately it hasn't been like that for me, so I don't know if that was a lesson I was supposed to learn. But today, like because I was looking, it was Christmas shopping, and I found a different planner that I wanted to use for next year. And I even find myself, honestly, just day by day, like I'm not even thinking about I was doing something at work, and I was just like, oh man, like pretty much after next Friday, that's like the end of the year. And I'm usually I'm very like, okay, end of the year, I want to end my year a certain way, and this and this. And this time it just feels like I'm just taking it literally day by day, which kind of scares me.
Okay, and that's what I'm hearing you're supposed to be doing, right? Because
Right.
you're the planner. It's like, I want everything synchronized. I want everything in place. I want to know exactly what's going to, happen next. And knowing what's been taking place for you over the past several years, it's really about going with the flow, which feels very uncomfortable when you're used to being in control and sort of planning out your destiny and having everything work out. But yet in this last 10 years, what you've done is you've turned over your will to divine will, right? And
Yeah.
in doing that, you're giving your higher self that permission to really support you and take you where you're supposed to go next, which is that fear of the unknown. And the fear of uncertainty is one of the biggest fears that we have, right? And that's why we always gravitate to what is familiar, even if it's not what we want. So
Right.
You've been taking this leap of faith for the past couple of years, and some of it you've been pushed into the leap of faith and pushed into a place of, trusting that your higher self really is there. And this is a time of really honoring that and, recognizing that even though you don't have all the answers, that you will have the resources. And I know that's, it's easier when you've got money in the bank and everything's taken care of. But yet I feel that this new year, if you are willing to let go, is really going to be a significant leap for you.
I think so. It was odd for me to I guess to feel that way this morning, because I had a really good week with my business coach, and because there were some exercises that he had me do, and he was just kind of like he was even surprised. I guess because I have such a laid back attitude, he wasn't expecting me to perform like the way that he thought. So it was kind of like, all right, it was a win. Like, it was a win for me. And I was just like, I think before, where I had the anxiety about creating the business and everything, it was different for me this time, because I felt like where I want to be, like, I felt like I was really in alignment. Let's put it that way.
Good.
So it's very different. But yeah, I was just curious, because I'm like, well, that's odd.
Well, but there may be some elements of grief, right? Because we're always can be in a state of grief over sometimes the silliest stuff, but that grief is an opportunity to release. And where we're wrapping up this full moon and moving towards the new, it doesn't surprise me that, even if you had a great week, that you had some, shed some tears around it.
Right.
I think it's going to be an amazing new year. So we're all in for good stuff, provided we're willing to that we're really willing to let go and trust our higher self is leading us where we're really supposed to be moving, and honoring the messages that we hear in the moment, and, just going with the flow.
I agree. And
I'm a Capricorn, so I totally know how difficult that can be. And for a Scorpio, true, we're so, even for Virgos, they're very controlling. So,
yeah,
it's recognizing that, I want to be in control of the situation, but yet you're really wanting to trust in your higher self. in that process.
Yes, for sure. And I always, the feeling that I keep getting is that before it was almost like I was trying to get back to where I was before, like all the
please don't
changes,
do
and
that.
then
No.
yeah, well, yeah. So the message that keeps coming up to me is, you know what? You're not supposed to go back to how you were supposed to come back better. So it's like, okay.
Right.
So I'm like,
So
all right,
it's mastery.
acceptably.
Yeah, it's really mastering what you've learned and carrying that forward.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else? Questions? Comments? Anything you want to share about this new moon, new year, new you? Everyone's so quiet tonight.
So this is Ani.
Hi, Ani.
Boy, it changes. I am in, let's see, career at 75 years old, trying to recreate
Stop
myself.
giggling about that. This is important. This is following your passion.
And it's right now it's challenging for me to stay in the passion mode and not go into panic mode of take anything I can get. And so that's kind of where I am.
Okay.
And being able to hold the vision long enough to manifest something.
What's your sun sign again?
Gemini, Leo rising. Triple Gemini. Lucky me.
Lucky you, right? So on the, like there's something coming in, and it just feels like this element of vacillation with the Gemini energy, right? Like following your heart versus your head. And I'd really recommend you, when we're doing meditation, I often bring people into your heart. When you go into that fear and panic mode, it's using your breath to bring yourself back into your heart. Because as soon as you go into your head and try to, figure it out,
19.
Everything that's taking place within your heart.
It's like 4 years older than me.
So just make sure that you're attuned to that, so that when you are in panic mode, you can breathe and really keep yourself into that centered place.
Okay.
Anyone else? Questions?
Okay, I was 11.
All right, if there's no more questions, we will go into meditation. So hold on while I mute everybody back down. All right, so we'll just take you through a short guided imagery meditation to help clear out. I want to clear out some of the old programming that we've been going through, really bringing the lessons into a place of mastery. So hopefully you're in a place that you can be free from distractions. You can do this sitting up or lying down. Obviously, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. This will be recorded, so if you do need to jump off, you can jump in, fast forward to the meditation and actually get that, or listen to it later, because obviously we're a couple days before the actual new moon. Usually I do it closer, but with the holidays, there wasn't enough time. So we've got a couple of days to really ponder what's taking place and coming up. But I'm glad we're doing this close to the solstice, because as I was talking about earlier, the veil is very thin and we're more open to the higher level of communication, provided that you're willing to be open and listen to it. So let's go ahead and close your eyes, and we'll begin some breathing. Breathing in through your nose And breathing out through your mouth. And breathing in deeply all the way down to your belly. And as you exhale, release tension that you're holding in the neck and shoulders. Just expand the space between your ears and your shoulders. Feeling your body begin to melt away. Tuning in to your inner body. Breathing in, bring your awareness to your heart. Feeling the expansion through your chest. And as you exhale, release any tension you're holding in your arms, your chest, through your back. Continue to breathe rhythmically, allowing the breath to cleanse your body. Each breath helps you in purifying, releasing toxins. Continue to breathe through your heart, expanding the chest. And as you exhale, feel the energy pushing down through your legs all the way through your feet and into the earth. Breathing in through your heart. And exhale, pushing your energy into the center of the earth. Connecting with the crystalline structure of Mother Earth. And feel the energy rebound from the center of the earth, bringing that energy into your heart. Mother Earth is here supporting you in physical form in manifesting your heart's desires. And this crystalline energy is like a beam of white light coming up through the bottom of your feet and into the center of your heart. We call in your guides and your ancestors to support you at this time, that they're encircling you with their love and projecting support at this time. And just hold this energy, feeling the connection. And they're providing an energy and support where you feel safe and protected. It's okay to let go of worries and fears. And you feel this wave of calmness coming over you, just like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket, holding this connection. And bring your awareness to your heart. And see the beam of white light from Mother Earth in the center of your heart. And taking a ray of that light, imagine yourself projecting it up through the crown of your head and up into the heavens. And as you connect with Father Sky, see the energy coming back down through the crown of your head, back into the center of your heart. But this energy is moving, it's dynamic. It's creating a figure 8, crisscrossing through your heart as it moves into the center of the earth, comes up through the center of your body, up over your back, into the heavens, and back down the front of your body. And just imagine this energy is supporting you. It's helping you in release your fears, your doubts, or maybe something specific that comes up at this time. Just imagine yourself letting it go into this figure 8 conveyor belt that's working through your body. Allowing yourself to be supported. Feeling your vibration begin to expand as the energy moves through your system. This dynamic energy is pulsating, invigorating, inspiring. It's gentle and loving and kind. And take a breath through your heart. And exhale, release. And this energy is helping you clear away the static, over processing, past traumas. It's clearing away the clutter and creating a new pathway, providing insights into the next steps. Just imagine your heart is literally expanding. The rays of light are expanding beyond your physical body. And you're projecting this field of unconditional love. And as you project this energy out, you're also attracting back to you the vibe of unconditional love. And with your energy field open, think about a goal that you're setting or an intention. Or maybe there's a theme that's playing out in your life at this time. How do you want that to expand? How do you imagine that showing up in your life? And just allow your imagination to run wild, seeing all the possibilities. As your imagination is sending you messages and images, imagine them expanding within your heart. And bring the energy into the solar plexus, anchoring it into the earth by projecting the energy into the center of Mother Earth. And she illuminates, activates, amplifies that energy. She's loving and compassionate, fueling your heart's desires, supporting you and manifesting them in physical form. And take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. And just imagine that you're manifesting. You're attracting the resources, that you're taking the lessons you've learned and what you've mastered to the next level. That you're allowing yourself to receive the abundance, the support, the validation, the resources, the guidance, everything you need to take your goals and your desires, your passion, your purpose to the next level. And take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. And breathe in light into your heart. And breathe out fear. And breathe in love. Breathing out compassion. Breathe in support. Breathe out validation. And feel yourself in this deeply connected place between heaven and earth, manifesting from higher realms, from your higher self, being open to the guidance and support, and following that as you manifest in physical form. Just imagine achieving one of your goals and what that feels like to you. Feel the enthusiasm, the excitement, the passion that you would feel if the answer was yes, if you achieved it. Are you jumping for joy? Are you calling somebody excitedly? Just tune into what that success feels like to you. And as we move into the new year, that you allow yourself to expand this feeling, that you tune into it often, expanding your vibe, raising it up, living in those higher realms. And take one more deep breath in through the heart. And as you exhale, release, begin to bring yourself back into the physical body, wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing awareness into the physical reality. As you finish your processing, if there's any specific messages or images or information, it's wise to write them down right away so that you don't forget them. And when you feel that your processing is complete, go ahead and open your eyes. And I will unmute. Is there anything interesting that came up during meditation? Any images, any messages, anything anyone wants to share? You know, it's not always easy to talk after meditation. Any questions or comments you may have before we wrap up?
Hello, this is Barbara.
Hello.
Hi, yeah. And I said, well, I kind of like woke up like in the middle of the meditation or something like that. So I guess I must have been someplace else. I don't know. And I said, and then I woke up and then I was hearing your voice in the middle of the meditation. So I don't know if I was just getting like overly relaxed and I guess just blanked out, or I don't know what happened.
So I take people into a theta state with this, which is the slowest brain waves. And it's in that state that even if you feel that you're asleep, your subconscious is still processing and listening to the information. So even if you've, feel like you're out of it, it's usually a really deep state that if you wake up pretty quickly, you weren't really asleep. So it's kind of a fascinating place and very powerful place for releasing and integrating.
Okay.
So thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Anyone else, questions or comments before we wrap up? I felt like I dozed off but heard everything, got tension released. Good. Yeah, it's a very tense time of the year anyway. All right, well, I will post this on the podcast page on New Moon Manifesting, and I will send out an email with that link as well as information about the prosperity and abundance course. Was there a question?
I don't know. You probably, maybe I blanked out much earlier than before the meditation started. Did you talk about, I guess, like the different houses and how this is affecting the different houses, this Capricorn New Moon?
Yes, let me pull that back up.
All right.
So you said yours is in 6th house?
Yeah.
So the 6th house relates to healthy routines. It has to do with your physical body and, so it's a good time for new diet routines, new exercise routines. It's taking care of your physical health, such as going to the doctor and the dentist and those types of things. It's also about purifying your thoughts and making sure that you're staying out of any places of fear and making sure that you're also not caught in perfection, right? Because that can be a Capricorn and Virgo trait, which the 6th house relates to Virgo. So, making sure that you're aware of what's taking place without being overly, perfectionist about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. And I said, so my moon is in the 6th house and my moon's in Capricorn. So
yes,
the emotion part of, I guess, how I'm feeling about stuff.
Absolutely. So if you're not taking care of yourself emotionally, this is a good time to do it. And setting up those routines that, whether you're meditating every day or, various things that help you in that spiritual connection and that emotional connection will be helpful.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other questions before we wrap up? My studio's under construction right now. That's why we're out of the studio in the living room. So we should be back in place next time.
Okay.
All right, well, I want to thank you for joining me on this Sunday night. I hope you have a magnificent new moon and new year, and I hope you'll be joining us for the Abundance and Prosperity course in January. And I'm very excited about this and how it's going to help people in not only staying on track, but really tuning into what you value most and really making sure that you're staying aligned with that. And this course is going to help you in manifesting. So I hope you'll join us for that. If you have questions about that or other things, please reach out. If you're interested in getting an astrology reading with transits and what's taking place with you personally, please reach out and we'll connect over that. And if not, I look forward to having you on our next new moon call in about a month. And have a fabulous holiday season and Happy New Year. Thank you for joining me tonight. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night. Thank you.